for their reps on the elements to count.
Yep, and if there's a fault, you'll hear that horn.
And we are off. Opening up on the floor, the Venom sporting that purple, bright purple on the screen, Saavedra on there as the female counterpart, Cody Schaefer with a quick vault there. Palms will be in that teal. Working with him, it's gonna be Jess Placencia. You got Saavedra, Placencia, Robbie Rodriguez on the floor for the Venom. On to the dumbbell thrusters.
Yeah, and the Venom have a slight lead already going into those dumbbell thrusters in quadrant number 1. I think that slip up from Cody Schaefer has put the Palms at a little bit of a deficit here.
Yep. Robbie Rodriguez, we didn't see him in Miami. Was he there in Orlando?
No.
He wasn't there in Orlando. So the first time we see Robbie Rodriguez in the 2023 season, former Fort Lauderdale Lion, former champion on the Venom. We'll see if his presence today will play a factor. I think it will.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's got much experience throughout the grid, several years, as you said, coming from the Fort Lauderdale Lions championship team.
Yep, FGL rookie Brandon Schipper on the side for the Palms with Heather Hudson. Schipper going to have to play a big role today as Brett Presley, the former, I guess you could say, newcomer to the league, but open up with a storm in Miami, is not here today. They're missing him today. So Brandon Schipper will play a key role in today's races.
Both teams substituting at the same time. They are neck and neck as they're heading in to quadrant number 3. Now they've got 4 repetitions. The barbell for those cleans is 225 pounds for the men, 145 for the ladies. Dumbbells at 50 pounds for the gentlemen and 40 for the ladies here. Again, 4 repetitions to complete before they can head into quadrant number 4.
You're going to have couple JoJo Gomez and Alyssa Martinez on the floor for the Venom. For the Palms, Sam Secord and Marcus Washington. Washington first to quadrant number 4, fourth and final quadrant. Secord and Martinez going rep for rep. Here's JoJo, here's Washington.
It's going to come down to who can thrust that weight faster and get across that finish line.
And a costly fault on the side of the Venom opens the door, and the Palms jump right through it. They jump across the finish line, and they open up their campaign to the playoffs with a race win.
Yep, and that was exactly what we were talking about at the beginning of this race. They have to be in that hash mark. I think his partner came out of the hash mark as he was completing that repetition, so fault was given to them. They still finished under that cap, so 1 point will go to the Venom, 2 for the Palms for taking that.
Yep, all throughout today's races, a race win gets you 2 points. As long as you finish underneath the allotted time cap, you'll get 1. If you don't, you get 0. We'll have more for you. Race number 2 coming your way next.
I'm ready, brother.
Are you ready, brother? I'm ready, brother. Clicking it! In 3, 2, 1, click.
So, workout is, I go, you go. It's gonna be 10 reps of 2 movements and then max effort. We're gonna go 10 wall balls, 10 toes to bar, and then with the remaining time of the minute, we're doing as many max handstand shoulder taps as we can until the minute hits.
On the next round, 10 handstand shoulder taps, 10 wall balls, and then max toes to bar.
Then one more round, movements rotate again, 10 toes to bar, 10 handstand shoulder walks, and then the max effort movement is wall balls. So there's gonna be a change in the max effort every round.
This is scored by max reps in total, all 3.
10 heavy wall balls!
2, 9, 10. 1, 2, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 19, 20, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 41! Why are you so fucking fast like that? I am.
Max handstands. I got 41 tapperdoodles.
I think we picked wrong elements.
Race.
Race.
10. 1, 10, 25. 2, 3, 4, 5. Look out, 2. Don't make me laugh. 3, 2, 1.
Do I get a handicap?
Here's my shower. $18.
You did it!
Can't you hold on for 19? That's the question. Is that 20?
21! Go, brother. You can like lick her kneecaps. Look at her. Oh, shit! Oh, man. 2, 1, time. 22!
WB. 22. Oh, where's she at? I don't know. Last 2 seconds. 3, 4. Yeah. 2, 1, done! 21! I beat Anna!
Guy wins this round. She wins this round!
You won! Now we drink our element.
Time to hydrate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the action. We are jumping right into this with Mirror Joe. Break down the mirror race for us. Pretty simple.
Yep, mirror. Sounds just like it is. These teams will send out 3 players. 3 male, 3 female. Once that barbell leaves the ground in quadrant number 1, it cannot touch the ground until the repetitions in quadrant number 4 are completed. They're essentially acting as human racks as they carry that weight across. So we're about to see that go off. We'll go over the weights as they're going through once we kick these things off.
Teams are set. They are off, and they're going to clean those barbells up. We've got front squats, 10 in each quadrant, 4 total quadrants, 40 total reps. And Joe, I've never seen it happen. You drop that barbell, you can pretty much count yourself out of a race win.
Absolutely, unless the other team does the same thing. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion if that barbell touches the ground. As we know, if it does, the entire team must go back to the start line, come back to the respective quadrant, and continue where they left off. Now, as you said, they have 10 front squats in each of the quadrants. For the men, barbell at 255 pounds. For the ladies, 145 pounds. Right now, the Venom with a slight edge over the palms. Once again, communication breakdown. Now we're seeing the Venom. There was one fault for the ladies here on the right for Martinez. And that looks like Joe Gomez and her going rep for rep. They've got just hands in the air, 2 reps remaining.
Yep, on the palm side, you have Shipper and Heather Hudson, who we saw together in partner forward. Partners here, right behind them. The men of the palms need to step it up, because the Venom looking to close this out. Denise Tam, along with Dylan Florentine.
Hands are in the air for the Venom. 2 reps remaining for the ladies, 2 reps remaining for the gentlemen. Bar has hit the ground, and the Venom have taken that mirror race with still 30 seconds on the clock. So plenty of time for the Palms to come through. They'll receive that 1 point like we were talking about, but the Venom now on the board, tying things up unofficially 3-3 after the second race.
Yep. Denise Tam is fired up, as are her Venom teammates, as we are getting into this action early on. It's all tied up at 3 apiece. We're gonna get Cassie set up in just a moment, sidelined with the teams and seeing what we got going on. But if this is anything, a preview into what we have coming up, this is gonna be a great race. This is a different side of the Venom than what I saw in Miami. I'm not sure if it's different from what you saw in Orlando.
Yeah, Dylan Florentine, I think, a big piece of that. You saw him out on the grid. He stayed out there pretty much through all 4 quadrants. He's very strong. He has experience. He didn't really know what grid was, but he was a signed on the day of the Orlando.
He was. And I think Cassie is standing by with Denise Tam. We'll go over to Cassie, see what Denise has to say about that race win.
Alrighty, I'm here with Denise Tam of the Daytona Beach Venom. D, I heard you running down the quadrants and yelling something. What was it that you were yelling?
This is the first mirror that we've won in the history of Venom. So I'm very happy and very excited. Thank goodness. Mirror is my jam, and so I wanted to win this time, especially since it's front squats.
And is that your specialty, front squats?
Yes, it is.
Oh, you ate those. You absolutely demolished that. Great job, D. All right, back to Joe and Alan at the table.
It's a different, to me, it's a different sense that I'm getting from the Venom so far today.
Positive, happy. Seems like maybe they had some time to communicate a little more, become more like a family. That was something that the Breakers have been working on. The Venom, like we said, they're not all close together. So we've talked about this in previous matches. They've had to do Slack and Zoom calls and different things to have their practices. They can't be in the same room at the same time for the majority of the team.
Yeah, which again, to win a championship in here, that's got to change. Something's got to change, but hey, it's a start. It's shooting for what we see with the Lions, where the cohesiveness is already there. Year after year, they've been together. Very little turnover as far as players go. That's what these teams are searching for. And the Palms right now, a little bit on the side. It's tough coming into this race for them. They're down some key players.
Yep.
And now they're fighting for a spot in the playoffs. Venom are fighting for their first win of the year and fighting for some bragging rights, but the Palms have something on the line here, and we'll see if they can change things up as we're going to go into our first winner point race of the day, of the match. The Palms are confident. They've thrown their bonus flag. So this race is worth 3 points to the victor. What can we expect?
Ringer point. This one was chosen at 6 double touches. We have the wrong, here we go. We're going to change it up for you. We got 6 double touches and 12 hang cleans. We got Briley Hansen out and Joe Gomez for the Venom. So the weight for the ladies will be 125 pounds, and for Gomez and the Venom, 185.
We are off. Again, Gomez and Hansen, 6 double touches. Toe to bar, chest to bar. Hansen, one of the, by far, best utility players in this league. Jojo Gomez, the strength specialist, looking to shine here with the hang cleans. 12 total reps.
Yeah, and it looks like Hansen is not having any issues. She had an elbow injury earlier in the season, so she wasn't able to do too many upper body workouts. Now, so what she did there, if you saw on your camera, she set herself up on the other side of the barbell. As soon as her repetitions were done, all she had to do was back up. Unlike Gomez, who had to go around his barbell, which precious seconds cost them.
Where strategy, you're going to see that strategy all throughout the match, all day long, but didn't come too much into play because Hansen just smoked those cleans. We'll see if the Palms can continue this trend. They're going to go into the next race, with a 2-point lead. We'll have that coming up next.
All right.
Do you have a nickname?
Rhino?
Rhino.
I used to be a lot bigger than I am.
Tell me, where did Rhino come from?
You want the real story or the fake story?
I want...
Okay, so here's the in-between story. I'm big as a rhino and I can move weight. That's kind of like the gist of it. The true story is really kind of stupid, because there was a guy at my gym named Melendez, and he drove a Mustang, so they would call him Mustang Melendez because he'd always drive up in his like newest Mustang or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, Mustang Melendez, that's badass. But then I was like, what's my nickname? And then they were like, Rhino Robbie. And I was like, all right, cool. So then I changed my Instagram, and I've been Rhino Robbie ever since. So that's the true story. It's boring. So growing up in Arizona, I graduated high school and I immediately moved out on my own. I went to a community college for a little bit. And I've always wanted to be a registered nurse, so I was doing my easy classes, I guess, English, writing, all those, get those out of the way at a community college. And then when I was ready, I applied to nursing schools, and one of the schools I applied to was NSU, and they accepted me. So in 2011, I made the drive over from Arizona to Florida, and I pretty much stayed here ever since. One thing that's cool about FGL is that they have designated specialists. So it's not like CrossFit where you have to do everything all at once and it's all on you. You're pretty much with a team, and you have strength specialists, gymnastics specialists, and you have the utility players that can kind of do everything. In between, you have the utility players getting you to those specialty movements. And what's awesome about Grid League is the strategy behind it is that you have to put in your players, and you can only use certain number of players, and you also have to consider the gender of players. So you have the females versus the males, and then you have to swap them out. That's really the most interesting aspect of it, is that the strategy that goes in behind it, which, a lot of audiences probably don't notice it, but the coaches are very strategic in this manner of who to play, when to play them. And halfway through the match, you need to like sub out a player because, they're smoked and you need somebody fresh, and you're allowed one of those, and that's pretty cool too. So I think that's also one of the most interesting things, is that it's so dynamic that you can get lost in it, but when you're watching it, it's really entertaining and exciting.
Welcome back to the action here on the Grid League live stream presented by Skyhill USA, the best grips in the game. And it's quite the match we have on our hands between the South Beach Paws and the Daytona Beach Venom. A 6-4 lead by the Palms right now. Huge shout out to DP, the Shiz, Jason CF Media, Kendrick, and Tina live on our YouTube right now. Interact, you got some questions for us, shout outs. Let us know on there. We'll be paying attention throughout today's match. Joe, what do we got coming up next?
We've got the Echoes. Excuse our graphic, but let me go over the Echo with everybody. For this Echo, 155-pound. Oh, there you go. One player can be accumulating reps according to the designated number of element repetitions. So essentially, they've got 30 thrusters at 155 pounds if it's a male using the bar, front squats for the ladies. Then into 20 weighted pull-ups, 14-pound ball, 15 ring muscle-ups, and 15 flippers with that 100 pounds additional, 300 total. Here we go. Teams are 10 seconds away. Not even.
They are off. You're going to have Robbie Rodriguez opening it up for the Daytona Venom. On the side of the Palms, you're going to have Brianna Maxwell.
Yeah, and it's surprising to see the Venom come out with the thrusters. The range of motion takes a little bit longer. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how it shakes out through both of these races. Of course, this is the Echo race because once they get through with this, there's a 45-second transition, and we do it all again.
Yeah, so it echoes through, and what's going to echo loudly here is if the Venom can open up this first Echo with a race win. Alex Alvarez is on the Valor Fitness pull-up rig. He is ready to go. He's going to have a total of 20 weighted pull-ups with a 14-pound medicine ball. The pull-up is not the challenging part for these men and females. It's the awkwardness of having to hold that medicine ball between your legs. So Alvarez, Shern right now.
Yeah, and actually, to interrupt you for a moment, you notice Shern, he keeps his legs crossed. Some players can do that if they have long enough limbs and can get that mobility of the ankles wrapped together, unlike Alvarez, who did not need to, but none of them had issues.
Or if you notice, Grid League rookie Angelina Midas, she had the medicine ball on her ankles. Somehow that helped her. Insane to me. We'll see insane stuff all day long. But right now, Briley Hansen, Andres Montenegro on the rigs, knocking out their set of 15 muscle-ups. And this, in the previous race from earlier this morning, this was the sticking point for some of these teams. It was the muscle-ups. Usually whoever got off these first and to the flip side in quad 4 won the race.
Yeah, and you could see now, this is the new signing for the Venom on your screen now. She's wrapping up their muscle-ups. Cody Schaefer trying to finish up the muscle-ups for the Palms. So Gomez and Savtra, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, are already ahead on their flips. They got a few flips ahead, so we're going to wait to see these referees, hands go in the air.
But I'll tell you what, Brent Presley over there on the side of, not Brent Presley, I'm sorry. That's going to be Brett Henry. On the side of the Palms, they had a little bit different of a strategy. Earlier we saw men do about 3 reps and the female do 1. The Venom went back and forth for the beginning, which was a little bit slower with the female doing the 300-pound flip sled. Meanwhile, the Palms are using that strategy of men do about 3 and then the female does 1. So it's a little bit faster over there. Hands are up. You got a 2-rep lead for the Venom right now.
Yep.
As Alyssa Martinez struggles for a second, Placencia opens it up. It all comes down to Brett Henry on the side of the Palms. Final rep for Gomez and the Venom. Venom crossed the finish line. They're going to take the first echo.
Wow, race number 4. First part of 2 echoes go to the Venom. Now, I'm wondering if this is a good time for the Venom to throw their bonus flag. There was a little bit of frustration. Everybody's kind of tired. They did kind of, 2-3 reps is considerable.
Yes, there was a slight mishap on the palm side with Cody Schaefer that we don't normally see. He's rolling out those shoulders, so it may just be that he's too fresh right now. A little bit warmed up now. So I do think the Palms come back stronger. It was a 2-rep difference there.
Yeah, and I did notice that Schaefer started with the butterfly muscle-ups, which is a little bit quicker. He, towards the end there, ended up going into your regular kipping muscle-ups. So like you said, maybe something's up with his shoulders. Maybe he's just not warm enough.
Yeah. And it may be, it's easier to transition from the normal muscle-ups to the butterfly than butterfly to the normal ones. So that may have cost him some time there. We'll see if the strategy changes or if it stays the same for these teams.
Yeah, Montenegro, he did the butterfly all the way through.
Yes.
So
what was once a 2-point lead is now a 1-point lead. We'll see if the Palms can go back to a 2-point lead over the Venom.
Florentine out on the floor for the Venom. And who is
You're going to have Schipper and Placencia on the floor for the Palms. Tam joining Florentine.
That's it, and they are once again chipping away at it's 30 repetitions in quadrant number 1. So that barbell is 155 pounds, male or female. For the ladies, they're doing front squats to chip away. For the men, they have full thrusters.
Yeah. As Cassie interviewed Tam earlier, she ate up those front squats on the mirror. I would have started with her on this because she is eating up these front squats at 155. Alex Alvarez back on the rig for the Venom. He started it last time. He's going to do it again with even more of a lead. But there was a mishap over there on the side of the Venom.
Yes, and Alvarez is working right now. So I don't know exactly how many repetitions he got there. They had to go back to the barbell for 1 more rep.
Midas on the bar. You'll see she has the ball in between her ankles. Shern trying to make as much ground as he can right now. Final rep for Midas. Here comes Montenegro again. Is he going to clear it this time? Riley Hansen back on the rig. Cody Schaefer out to the rings. Cody Schaefer, an opportunity to right a wrong.
Montenegro going with those butterfly muscle-up. That's a butterfly. It's already a muscle-up. Very high skill. Dropping into it for that butterfly movement. Saving a little bit of time. Hand is in the air. He's got 4 reps remaining of those 15 ring muscle-ups. Yep. Cody Schaefer now on the rings as well.
And you saw the main difference with Montenegro. He was very, very silhouette-y. There was very little movement in the straps. Schaefer has a lot of movement in his straps, which is causing a lot of stability issues at the top of the muscle-up. And Jojo Gomez in the Venom. First to quad number 4. 2 reps in with the flips. Saavedra will get 1 rep in. Probably go back to Jojo.
Yes, and over with the Palms, they've got 2 reps remaining. Briley Hansen, actually 1 more. She's going to finish up those muscle-ups. We'll go back over to the Venom. There we go. We are watching Gomez continue to rip away at this flipper. They, again, 300 total pounds.
Yeah, Marcus Washington was told, go switch it out. He said no. He said, I got this. So Marcus Washington right now, a man on a mission to try and get the Palms back into this race. Yep. However, Alyssa Martinez and JoJo Gomez have 5 reps remaining on the flip sled. Waiting for that hand to go up. Marcus Washington, man on a mission.
Yeah, and I don't think it will be enough. Only 2 reps remaining for the Venom. Hand has gone up, so again, about a 3-rep deficit. Gomez is going to wrap things up. He'll push it across, and they're going to back across that finish line. Another win for the Echo. Back-to-back Echo for the Venom.
Yeah, so, I mean, Joe, you might think if broadcasting don't work out for you, you might think of a coaching job on the grid league, because that bonus flag. Bonus flag on there would have been good for them. Yet, still, from a 2-point deficit, that is now a tie match between both of these teams. We're going to be tied up at, I believe it's going to be 6 apiece. No, it'll be 8 apiece for both teams. And again, it's going back and forth here. Back and forth between both of these teams. A playoff spot on the line for the Palms. Meanwhile, for the Venom, just trying to end the year off with the win. First win of the 2023 season. Your thoughts so far through 5 races?
Well, the Venom are holding up their end. Like you said, we got a tie match. Tie match going into race number 6. So we're going to be going into the ladder here shortly. We'll be right back. We're going to get the grid set up, and then we'll get back to that action.
Grid Wars! Yeah, baby!
Excited. This is going to be fun. I like stuff like this. Being able to coach and get people into it and have them have the first grid experience, it's going to be a good time.
Nervous, excited, never done this.
Really nervous, but it's gonna be fun. Wish me luck.
Kill it.
1, 2, 3, Junior!
That was the spark we needed. It's electric in the air, baby.
Now we can do the mini grid.
Was amazing. The race was so funny.
All comes down to this, Mike. Let's go.
I think we're going to be all right. And once we win this one, we win the whole thing.
No, back away.
That's sportsmanship over here.
Fuck you!
Pretty much gonna do the whole thing, and then I'm gonna run across and win.
What'd you do? Come on. What happened? I'm just kidding, Maya. I love you.
6 a.m. 6 a.m. Forever the best.
She beat me.
Champ. Champ.
Welcome back to the action here at the Grid League. Live stream brought to you by Skyhill USA. We are in the Ascend race, Ascend match, going into the ladder race. We're going to ascend down the grid floor. We're ascending in weights on some cleans. Break down what to expect on the ladder, Joe.
All right, for this ladder, each team can send out 10 players. There are 10 possible points. 1 point for quadrant number 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3, and in quadrant number 4, it's worth 4 points. Now, as they progress through the ladder, the barbell will get heavier. For the men, starting at 250 pounds, then 275, 300, and in quadrant number 4, 325 pounds. For the ladies, 165 pounds in quadrant 1, up to 180, then 195 pounds, and capping off at 210 pounds. This is a clean ladder, so squat clean or power clean is okay. And you can see that element value on your screen, 1, 2, or 3, or 4, and that is to its respective quadrant.
It's a chance for the strength specialists to shine. Even some utility players, see how far they can get up this ladder. But as we've seen we saw in Miami, I'm sure you saw in Orlando, you're looking to see who can clear these floors. That's who you're going to put up first. Who's going to be able to clear the floor and get you that 10 full points? We'll try our best to count how many clears we get and see who we have a lead, but at the end of it all, we'll take some time to calculate and get you a winner as fast as we can. But right now, let's just watch, sit back, and enjoy these strength specialists shine as Brianna Maxwell just cleaned 210 pounds. Casillas failed on that 300-pound clean. Here's Tarafa for the palms.
Yeah, Tarafa, like I said, power cleaning that weight. That first barbell, 250 pounds, power clean, 275 pounds in quadrant number 2. And now he's heading into quadrant number 3. Now he's getting under it a little bit deeper. That was a 300-pound barbell. He'll choose to opt out of quadrant number 4. Hudson just put down quadrant number 3 for the Venom. And who are we looking at now?
We're looking at Jess Placencia for the palms, Robbie Rodriguez for the Venom. If anyone's going to clear this floor, it's going to be these two. Placencia, I put my money on it. 210 for Jess Placencia. Jess Placencia, underneath it, stands it up. Robbie Rodriguez through 300 pounds. Robbie Rodriguez going to that 325-pound barbell.
He's under it. Oh, and he stands that up real easy. Once again, they're getting points for every one of these barbells they stand up. If they fail one of these movements, they are off the grid. So it comes down to strategy, because in addition to being able to get all 10 players out, they only have 4 minutes to do it.
Brett Henry gets underneath, 325, can't quite stand it up. Here comes Alyssa Martinez, 210 pounds on your screen, underneath it, and stands it up. Back over to the palms with Samantha Secord.
Yep, Secord in quadrant 3. That barbell, 195 pounds. She will also go to quadrant 4, 210 pounds. She's under it, and no problem.
Jojo Gomez. Joe, is there any doubt that Jojo's going to clean 300 and then 325?
No, and he's actually, I believe it was an ACL injury that he had last season. So he's been showing tremendous strength this season after undergoing whatever he needed to repair that, and physical therapy and all that jazz.
Like he never left. Brandon Shipper, the FGL rookie. Brandon Shipper, 325. Yes, sir.
Tam now out for the Venom. She's fired up, as we saw earlier today. She's in quadrant number 3, 195, no issue. We have no doubt she'll be going to hit that 4th bar.
She ate the front squats, and she is eating these cleans for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Heather Hudson, 210 pounds from the utility player.
Probably one of the smallest players on the palms, but certainly one of the stronger ones.
Absolutely. Marcus Washington, Dylan Florentine, both look highly capable of getting under 300 and 325. They're under 300. Can they get under 325? It's Washington, Florentine. Washington says yes, sir. Florentine doesn't have quite enough. 35 seconds on the clock for Briley Hansen.
Briley, no problem in quadrant 2. She's heading into quadrant 3. New signing for the Venom. on the other side. She's fighting. She did stand up that 195-pound barbell. And it looks like she's going to give an attempt at 210.
Fernanda Saavedra underneath it. Fernanda Saavedra, the single-day signing, stands up 210.
Now, Cody Schaefer, he's going to go for quadrant number 3. He would just need to stand it up, but he's choosing not to. Montenegro doing the same thing.
A big 275-pound clean from Cody Schaefer, but Fernanda Saavedra with a big 210 clean there at the end. We're going to tally up the score. We'll get a winner as soon as we can. We'll take a break. Coming up next, our second ringer point race of the day.
We are Relax and Get Results. Josh and Daniel here. We've been with the Grid League since about 5 years now, and we love being part of the team, taking care of the team. Their well-being means a lot to us, so we're always in the sideline, making sure they're okay. You know, we specialize in everything that has to do with sports, massage, sports recovery, stretching. So what we do is basically help them maximize their potential and help them prevent injury as well.
The recovery aspect, we speed up the recovery time, help athletes regain range of motion that they've lost due to injury or overuse, overtraining. Pretty much just keeping people as healthy as possible is what our goal is.
Yeah, especially with Greek, you know, it's very intense and it's very fast. So when we improve their mobility, their flexibility, they're obviously going to perform at a higher level. So with them, that's mainly our main concern, is to get them flexible so they're faster at everything they do.
Peachy athletic shorts, guys. Just saying. Looking peachy.
And the peaches are great. They're really stretchy. They're soft.
I like the fit. I like the fabric. It makes me just feel more comfortable while I'm working out. I don't have to worry about things coming out.
Love training in these shorts. Love competing in the shorts. They stay put. Got a really nice thick waistband.
They definitely pass the squat test and the booty test. They're really comfortable. Like I could wear them out and I could wear them on the floor.
But still feel covered, but able to do all the movements.
Go get yourself some.
I'm a marketing specialist and also a fitness enthusiast, so I kind of do a little bit of everything. A little bit of gymnastics, a little bit of lifting, but I'm also a person who gets really bored with eating the same things. I like that Rebuilt has made it a lot easier for me to meal prep because it takes out a bunch of meals that I don't need to now prep. When I'm at work, I can just heat them up really quickly, or if I'm working from home, I can heat them up really quickly. And it just makes the time when I do get home after work or after the gym a lot simpler because I have those meals ready to go. I track most of my macros. You can scan them super easily, put them in MyFitnessPal. It's easy for me then to plan the rest of my meals with the rest of the macros that I have left for the day because it tallies it up super simple for me. Super clean food while also tasting really good. I feel like I'm getting a good healthy amount of protein, carbs, and fat per meal. I like the lifestyle line. It allows me to have a little bit more flavor, a little bit more carbs. I feel good going into training. I'm ready to go. It makes my life super simple and I really like them.
So welcome back to the action here at St. Pete, Florida. Valor Fitness headquarters. Live stream brought to you by Skyhill USA. And it seemed like it was a 79-63 win for the South Beach Palms on that ladder. More than 10 points, meaning the Venom didn't get a single point for that race. Palms still got 2. So what was a tie match is now a 2-point lead going into the ringer point race. This is the Venom's pick. Joe, what did the Venom pick?
They chose 5 clusters. So they can send out 1 male or 1 female, doesn't matter. For either team. For the men, 5 clusters at 205 pounds. For the ladies, 135 pounds. And it looks like I was a little off with that. It's been changed to the handstand walk. So with that, we might actually have some different players going out. Briley Hansen for the Palm, or no, I'm sorry, that's Michael Shern out there, right? So we have Michael Shern for the Palms and Angela Midas. Yes, Midas for the Venom. She looks like she got a little bit of a head start. He did not, as soon as we heard go, he didn't get going. Midas looks like she's going to take this race in its entirety. She's a full quadrant ahead.
Full quadrant ahead, and keep in mind, there's a certain time frame that they have to finish within. And it doesn't look like Michael Stern's gonna do that. And this is gonna be all tied up once again.
Yeah, Shern still hasn't crossed the finish line.
The Venom are gonna get their 2 points.
Yeah. And the coach is saying, don't bother. They're outside of the 20%. I believe it's within 20% time of finishing. So because he fell, he would have had to go that extra 5 feet again, so no go.
Again, back and forth. We haven't talked about it much today, but playoffs on the line for the Palms. They need to win or lose. They can lose by less than 3. So if they lose by less than 3, they're still going to go to the playoffs over the Breakers. Again, back and forth, all tied up at 10 apiece. And we're going to have Cassie standing by with Angelina Midas, the winner of that last ringer point race.
If you thought about joining a grid team, this is for you. Grid League is a high-speed, high-adrenaline, exciting team sport that showcases a wide range of athletic types from heavyweight strengths specialists to light and speedy bodyweight specialists and everything in between, including well-rounded utility players.
Can't explain the experience with my words because you have to be here to really experience what it is.
Grid League is a true team sport in every sense. It brings back the feeling of team camaraderie in a new and powerful way. As never before have men and women been showcased together in a true large team sport like this. It's the team sport experience elevated in an incredible and powerful way. Showcase your hard work on the big stage, earn sponsorship deals, receive official Grid League gear and products, and battle it out with your team for that championship prize. Your chance to earn the right to sign to a Grid League team happens once a year in the American Grid Trials. This online combine features several tests focused on a wide range of skill sets, and each with a prize. Only perform the tests you feel best exhibit your abilities, and there is no overall score. For the first time ever, prospective players can reserve their spot in the American Grid Trials far in advance. At the lowest price it will be offered all year, just $16, you can sign up for the trials. Plus, receive a bonus package at sign up that includes 150 grid training workouts from all 3 positions, including progressions for high-skill Grid League movements, an e-book that explains the Grid League race rule basics you'll need to know, access to our online training portal for our staff and referees to learn details about Grid League rules, an exclusive discount for prospective players to all remaining Grid League events in 2023, a Grid League sponsor coupon book worth hundreds in savings for the latest and best products in the fitness space. This is over $120.
Here we go, back from that commercial break. We're going to go to Cassie now, who's standing by with the Daytona Beach Venom.
Howdy, I'm Cassie. I'm back on the grid. I had Angelina with me, but unfortunately she had to go warm up for that. She was telling me this was her very first time performing this movement. It was so impressive on her part to beat such a veteran such as Michael Stern. I'm going to take it back to the table for this next match.
Thank you so much, Cassie. Back going into this now, all tied up at 10 apiece, like we said. It's a back and forth match. Up next, a set where this match is called Ascend. This race should be called Ascend, but it's going to be Jack and Jill. They're going to be ascending up 3 separate ropes. What do we have to look forward to?
All right, so 1 male, 1 female out on the grid at a time. 3 movements, all body weight based. The amount of reps decrease and the difficulty increases with each subsequent movement. Speaking about those movements, let's put those up on the screen for our viewers. Today, they've got 15 rope climbs in quadrant number 1. Then in quadrant number 2, 10 legless rope climbs, and then finalizing everything with 3 L-sit rope climbs up to a 15-foot mark. Once again, 1 male, 1 female out on the grid. They can substitute at any time. And that's the wrap for Jack and Joe.
Again, this race, we saw it when we saw the Breakers take on the Lions. I thought it would come down to the L-sit rope climbs, but it came down to the legless. That's where the Lions were able to really gain their lead, and they were just cruising by the time they got to the L-sit. It's not even rushed.
Yeah, whenever you're racing, you know, your heart rate gets jacked up, your grip can go, things you're not thinking about, or especially accounting for when you're practicing.
And an early false start on the side of the Palms as Alex Alvarez and the Venom are already up one rope climb before Secord is even up there.
Yeah, so they have a few rep lead over the Palms currently, but like we said, although there's only 3 movements here, it's really going to come down to those legless rope climbs.
Cheney holds that rope for Montenegro. Briley Hansen onto the rope now, relieving Marcus Washington.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing is, if you can see in the bottom of your screen there with the Venom, they're helping their players control the rope a little bit more. I think that's also going to help. Every time they trade out, a player grabs the bottom of the rope instead of having it flailing around. And now it looks like Cody Schaefer actually just did the same thing.
Yes, we've seen some players perform legless in place of the actual rope climbs multiple times. They don't have to, but it seems like they're choosing to do it to try and make up some ground. We see it a lot with Brandon Schipper. We saw it with Cody Schaefer earlier. So we'll see if that's going to get them back in this.
I think that's another thing, again, with that rope flailing around, trying to get your feet in. If you miss, that's an extra couple seconds.
Absolutely.
You know, every second counts here with this race.
Jojo Gomez on the rope for the Venom. If you're watching at home, you're going to wait for that referee's hand to go up. Even though they started in the lead, that hand went up first for the South Beach Palms. Brett Henry will hand it off to Sam Secord. I see 2 fingers up on the side of the Palms. That was 3. Now we got 2 left. 4 to go for the Venom.
Yeah, that's Midas going up the rope. She's coming down. Florentine's going to take over. We've got Washington. It looks like Marcus Washington, yep, for the Palms.
Briley Hansen first of the legless rope climbs for the South Beach Palms. Brandon Schipper coming onto the floor to help her out. Final rep for Cheney and the Venom.
Yep, Schipper now doing his legless rope climbs. He was actually doing that for the first set of rope climbs as well, like you were talking about. So he is very quick with just his hands getting up that rope.
Huston was just about to jump on. Montenegro says, nah, I want one more rep, and he gets it. Hudson holding it for Henry on the side of the Palms. Again, lots of transition coming into play. It seems like the men, at least for the Palms, we saw with Montenegro, the men are getting 2 reps in. Meanwhile, the ladies are going to get 1 in. We'll see if that changes to Amber Bose climbing that rope on the Palm side. Alvarez for the Venom, Saavedra on the floor.
And it looks like the Venom are trailing by about 2 reps. We've got hands up for both judges.
Washington will do 1 more. They got 1 more rep on the side of the Palms. 4 to go for the Venom. Up next, you're going to have that L-sit. Excuse me, that was 2 more. The final rep is going to come down to Briley Hansen, and it's going to be Michael Schern. Schern was missed in Miami, but making his name known, making his presence known, starting up on the L-sit rope climbs.
Yeah, with the L-sit, they don't have to keep their legs necessarily straight, but their feet need to stay above their hips.
Yes.
The hip crease. So as you saw, you may have just missed on your screen, Michael Schern went up to the top. He touches the top with his foot to save him a little bit of grip, which we're going to see here in this next set. You got both players from both teams on your screen currently. We can see them on the right side of your screen. Montenegro using his feet to touch the top. Schern getting close to the top.
This is big. Can Schern get 1 more? Schern gets it. Schern reaches his feet, and he gets it. Briley Hansen for the final one. They're going to switch out Schaefer. And a mishap. Schaefer leaves early. Schaefer leaves early. On this side, we missed it. Midas couldn't quite get up top. She had a fault. So they're still at 2 reps to go for Montenegro. Can Cody Schaefer bring it home for the South Beach Palms? Cody Schaefer does it. And the Palms will cross the finish line.
Yeah, and there was a window of opportunity. Unfortunately, Midas was stuck, like you said, so they were not able to close it out.
That was big, Joe. That was big. Cody Schaefer and the Palms crossed the finish line with about 7 seconds remaining. Venom just couldn't quite get done with the elephant rope climbs. They didn't finish the race under the allotted time. They'll get 0 points. So it was now tied up at 10. We're going into the next race with a 2-point lead, 12-10 on the South Beach Palms. Boy, back and forth battle. We'll see if it continues. Coming up next after this commercial break.
Big goal of mine is to share my story, to inspire others. Once I got back to the States, during hard chemotherapy rounds, I was back in remission, but now this time I needed to have a bone marrow transplant. After another round of chemotherapy, I then endured a fungal infection that was going to my brain. Very close call. Had 5 surgeries in 6 days. But I battled through, fought through, and survived. Made it to my bone marrow transplant. Took about 11 months for my blood to start reproducing again. You know, through that time, I still continued to train. I continued striving to just be the best I can be and do the best my body could do. So I preach health and fitness because it saved my life, not once but twice. I will continue to tell my story on why I eat the way I eat. Every day, you know, I'm eating clean. Carnivore snacks, you know, it's just legit salt and your protein, and that's it. They all taste great. I look forward to snacking on them every day. Being a busy dad, I get to snack and not forget to eat while I'm taking care of my 14-month-old son. So carnivore snacks is great. I definitely highly recommend it.
Welcome back to the action, live and in person. The Valiant Fitness headquarters here outside St. Pete. Live stream is brought to you by Skyhill USA, right behind us. Trying to figure it out there. There it is.
Boom.
Skyhill USA, best grips in the game. We've seen them all throughout the day. We're going to continue seeing them on all these bodyweight specific races. Speaking of a race, what do we got next? The females get to shine on this next race. What is it?
Female triad, race number 9 of the match. Quick rules, this is gender specific, so we're going to send out the ladies first. 3 out on the grid at a time. Each station must be completed before they can move on to the next. Now, any player can work at any station, so if a player is struggling with a particular element, they can come from within the grid and help out, and they can substitute at any time. As far as movements that they're going through, we've got barbell clusters in quadrant number 1, 16 repetitions, 75 pounds. Then 3 freestanding handstand push-ups in quadrant number 2. Moving on to quadrant number 3, they have 16 burpees over the box at 24 inches. Quadrant number 4 are dumbbell shoulder to overhead, 9 repetitions, 50 pounds in each hand, and then finishing things off with a 60-foot handstand walk from all 3 of the ladies.
You know, we saw in that first race, that handstand walk played a role in this, but ultimately, it really it's from the start. It's just being consistent. The second you start seeing faults, that's where we're going to start seeing that window open. And I think the team that can be as clean as possible, a clean run, is going to get you the race win here.
Yeah, and I think it's letting your ego go, if that's the proper way to say it. You know, if you're having trouble with a particular element, get off the grid, tag in somebody else. Sometimes the plan can't go the way that you're expecting it to. So that's where the coaches on the sideline, they can't really do anything but, you know, try to get them off of the grid, but as a player, you got to be aware as well.
You got to make the adjustments on the fly because, again, that pride, that ego coming into play, you try to hold on a little bit too long and you're just faulting. Yep. But right there, the miscommunication there was someone didn't finish a rep, someone started, and the Venom are behind right now as the Palms just moving quickly. First to quadrant 3 for the burpee box jump overs. As on your screen, you have Hudson, Hansen, and Bost for the Palms. For the Venom on the floor, single day signing for Anna Saavedra, Midas, and Huston on the burpee box jumps.
And that's 16 reps at each of those 3 stations. From there, they're going to head over to dumbbell shoulder to overhead. 50 pounds in each of the hands of those ladies. And then, as we said, they're going to handstand walk from the start to Q3, quadrant number 3, before they sprint into the finish. Hands are up for a few of the referees out there. Palms substituting in right now. Briley Hansen, she's going to go ahead and start chipping away at her shoulder to overhead.
Yeah, right now, you know, Palms first over to quad 4, and there was, again, like you said, you had Saavedra over here, single day signing, not much experience. You know, telling Coach Paul here that I'm done. I can't go longer. Trying to get herself out of it to help her team, and she might have done one too many, and it just slowed down everything, as that was the last station to be completed. And right now, the Palms are on to their handstand walks. Right now, for the Venom, all I'd be worried about is finishing underneath that time cap and getting my 1 point.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like now they're having a little trouble. The Palms are having a little slow go here. I think that's is it Placencia?
That's Bost, Hudson, and then Hansen. Right now, Bost is just trying to get as far as she can because Hansen's going to come back, as we see right now. She's going to come back and finish that station. But you got Midas coming back on the floor. Cheney's going to finish this one up. Cheney will probably come back for the Venom. It's a small window. Bost is going to finish that final quadrant. Cheney's going to have to sprint on her hands. I don't think it's going to matter. They're going to sprint down to the finish line.
It could be close. It's going to be just a few seconds, maybe 5 to 8 seconds difference, I think, between the two teams.
A lot closer than we expected it to be. So a great showing, and there was something here. Again, another miscommunication.
So this is what we were talking about. Now, we know that this is a foregone conclusion. The Palms have taken this race, so we'll talk a little bit about communication here while the Venom are trying to wrap up. They're still going to get it under the cap, but this is what we were talking about earlier. The Venom aren't always together, and this is something that needs to be practiced together.
On top of it all, you have the single day signing, and we don't want to. Again, Saavedra is a veteran in the Grid League. She's about 1 or 2 years removed from a Miami Freaks championship team, and but you're a single day signing. You're talking about a team that isn't as cohesive as you'd wish they could be for circumstances such as living in other states, and now you have a single day signing that doesn't add.
There's
to the
another wrench, right? Yeah.
So. It's tough to do, tough to make happen, and right now the Palms are making it happen. They're going to go into the final 2 races with a 3-point lead. Again, a win in this match gets them locked into the playoffs, and Cassie standing by with 2 of the females that you just saw on the Palms sideline. Cassie, who are you with today?
Alrighty, I'm here with Heather and Sam from the South Beach Palms. I know you guys are still catching your breath, but what's going through your head right now?
I'm tired.
sweet, sweet victory. Oh, I like it. I like it. So what was that confusion that was happening on that last quadrant of the handstand walks?
There was no confusion. I was going to cross the line. She was going to run for me, but our two others weren't done handstand walking. So she can't go to the finish line. So I did a dramatic fall for nothing.
Oh, I love that for you, though. That was amazing. Great job, ladies. That was a female triad. I'm going to take it back to Joe and Alan to take them off for the male triad.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cassie, Heather, and Sam. Both two females that are vital to this team, along with Briley Hansen. And we're going to see them not in this next race because the males are going to take on the triad, but we're going to see them later on in the sprint relay, and we'll see if it comes down to that. We'll see if the males can pull away here on this triad, or if it's going to come down to the sprint relay. And we're going to see that when we get back.
See you soon.
I was actually starting to make videos towards the end of high school to try to go to college for gymnastics, and I ended up having shoulder surgery. I tore my labrum, and that was it for gymnastics. A friend got me into CrossFit, and then when I heard about Grid, the original one, I did everything I could to try to be part of the league. I use a lot of grips, and these are just my favorite pair that I've ever touched. With the way these are just sewn on and with that padding, it's a whole new dimension in terms of grips for CrossFit. And when you lock onto that bar like you're supposed to with these things, they just lock you in. These are probably the only grips I'll use.
Welcoming you back to the action. Joe, fans at home already know what the triad consists of. Let's walk them through the change in elements and weights for the elements we're going to see on the floor for the males.
For the men, you'll see same elements, different weights. Going to go up a little bit. Starting in the beginning, quadrant number 1, you're going to have 16 barbell clusters. That's a squat, clean, thruster. Barbell, 115 pounds. Moving on to 3 freestanding handstand push-ups in quadrant 2. Quadrant number 3, 16 burpees over the box at a 30-inch box. And then those dumbbell shoulder to overhead, 9 repetitions and 70 pounds in each hand for the men. And then wrapping things up, they're going to have that 60-foot handstand walk from quadrant 3 back to the start, and then sprinting all the way through the finish.
Now an opportunity here, a 3-point lead for the Palms right now. Palms have already thrown their bonus flag. Venom have not. Probably holding it out for the sprint relay. I haven't seen them throw it just yet. But an opportunity here, a race win here, forces the Venom to have to throw that bonus flag. If the Palms can win this race, at minimum, it's going to be a 4-point lead for the Palms going into the sprint relay, which is worth 3 points to the victor, so Venom will have to throw it if they even want a chance. So Palms are sitting pretty right now for a trip for the 3rd year in a row to the Southern Conference playoffs.
Yep, looks like they're going to wrap that up right here, possibly in the male triad.
Yeah.
We will see.
You know, Venom male have shown a lot of promise today, having Robbie Rodriguez back. And again, Jojo Gomez is always going to be a factor in any kind of race that he's racing in. Right here, the males are set. Shipper, Henry, and Washington for the Palms. Montenegro, Alvarez, and Gomez for the Venom.
Yep, both teams out, starting with those clusters. Barbell has to touch the ground every time. Squat clean, hips drop below the knee, and then full lockout overhead. That is your cluster. Barbells at 115 pounds. Each of those gentlemen in the three stations have 16 reps apiece. Now, they can help each other out. If one starts to get a little tired, looking fatigued, he can always swap out if the gentleman behind him or in front of him or whatever wants to take over. So once again, that's something that's going to come down to communication and ultimately cost or win one of these teams this race.
Absolutely. As you're following along on this live stream presented by Skyhill USA, look at the elements, the barbells, the boxes, the dumbbells, the players as stations. Each station has a certain amount of reps that must be completed at that station. So if you're wondering why players are doing 2 at one and then someone else comes to that one and do another one, why can't they just do it where they last were? It's stations. Each rep, the reps must be completed at each station. Part of the strategy that comes into here.
Right, and all 3 stations, as you said, have to be complete. So if there's one station left in quadrant number 2, or right now we're looking at these burpee box overs, if there's only one left, the other 2 gentlemen can head into quadrant number 4, but they cannot begin until the 3rd station is complete.
Yep, and we saw that with the Venom ladies last time, where they were hoping to start a little bit early while they still had work to be done in the previous quadrants.
Right, and that could be a waste of energy, time, or the combination of the both.
We see some hands up on the Venom side, just one hand of a referee. I see multiple hands up on the side of the Palms.
Maybe we can go split screen so we can see both of these teams. There we go. Now we've got both teams. Looks like the Palms are just finishing up. They're going to head now into quadrant number 4. They've got 9 dumbbell shoulder to overhead. Those dumbbells are 70 pounds apiece.
Washington, Henry, and Shipper. Shipper, again, we said it from the beginning, having to play a key role with Brent Presley out for today's match. Washington is done. Waiting for Henry and Shipper. Shipper's hand is up. Henry's done. Shipper's up. It's time to handstand walk, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and this is another thing. Could cost the match depending on the handstand skills of these teams. We saw the Palms on the ladies' side struggling a little bit, but they had a plan. Somebody took over, players take over, and finishing up each quadrant, one back and forth, basically.
You have Rodriguez coming off the floor. Alvarez and Gomez will stay on. Here comes Montenegro. Meanwhile, Cody Schaefer will replace, I believe it was Henry, who he replaced.
Yes, and now Shern's coming out.
Shern's gonna have to finish it up and sprint down. Can Montenegro catch up, make up ground? Shern will get through. It'll come down to the sprint. And the South Beach Palms are going to take the male triad. They're gonna sweep the triads. They're gonna get their 2 points. Venom go underneath the time cap. And this might just be out of reach, because at least if the Palms finish the sprint relay, they're going to get 1 point. Venom are going to have to throw a bonus flag, but they're going to have to also hope the Palms don't finish that sprint relay.
Yeah.
It's all going to come down to this. It's going to be a 16-12 lead going into the 11th and final race of this Ascend match. We got that for you coming up next after this break.
If you thought about joining a grid team, this is for you. Grid League is a high-speed, high-adrenaline, exciting team sport that showcases a wide range of athletic types, from heavyweight strength specialists to light and speedy bodyweight specialists, and everything in between, including well-rounded utility players.
Can't explain the experience with my words, because you have to be here to really experience what it is.
Grid League is a true team sport in every sense. It brings back the feeling of team camaraderie in a new and powerful way. As never before have men and women been showcased together in a true large team sport like this. It's the team sport experience elevated in an incredible and powerful way. Showcase your hard work on the big stage, earn sponsorship deals, receive official Grid League gear and products, and battle it out with your team for that championship prize. Your chance to earn the right to sign to a Grid League team happens once a year in the American Grid Trials. This online combine features several tests focused on a wide range of skill sets, and each with a prize. Only perform the tests you feel best exhibit your abilities, and there is no overall score. For the first time ever, prospective players can reserve their spot in the American Grid Trials far in advance. At the lowest price it will be offered all year, just $16, you can sign up for the trials. Plus, receive a bonus package at sign up that includes 150 grid training workouts from all 3 positions, including progressions for high-skill Grid League movements, an e-book that explains the Grid League race rule basics you'll need to know, access to our online training portal for our staff and referees to learn details about Grid League rules, an exclusive discount for prospective players to all remaining Grid League events in 2023, a Grid League sponsor coupon book worth hundreds in savings for the latest and best products in the fitness space. This is over $120 value for just $16. But more importantly, you'll be taking that first step to seeing your daily hard work shine on the grid and feeling the excitement of celebrating victory with your team. Don't wait, as the price will increase each month until the trials kick off in 2024. Take advantage of the best deal you can get right now and make the commitment to yourself. See you on the grid. Head to thefgl.com/play or the link in the caption below to get started.
My name is Lacey Boyd. I am a utility player for the Orlando Aces. I tore my ACL during one of the grid races called the Mirror. It was 10 hang power clean, but on the 8th or 9th rep, I felt like a pop in my knee, and I was like, well, that's not good. But I just kept going and didn't really think anything of it because I've never been injured before.
The video that she showed seemed like a very minor injury. However, she tore her ACL. She tore her meniscus. She had a displaced bucket handle tear, which is a serious issue. As a former CrossFitter and a former athlete and a sports-trained orthopedic surgeon, that's an important part of what I do as a sports medicine physician. Is I look at the athlete's specific sport, the movements that are involved, and we tailor the rehab to get people back to their particular sport.
If you get injured, take the time your body needs to recover. Be very patient with yourself, both physically and emotionally. It's really like, you kind of feel like you're alone when it happens initially, because like none of your other friends or family are feeling the way that you do. You feel like not helpless, but in a sense you feel like you lost your independence at the time. But just listen to yourself, listen to your doctor, and it's just a minor setback to fling you forward. It's all gonna end up better than what you expected.
Welcome back to the action. It's been quite some action in this match, all match long between these two Southern Conference teams. Again, it's the last race, last race of the match, last match for the Daytona Beach Venom. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be the last match for the Palms, as they have a 4-point lead right now going into the sprint relay, and even a loss of 3 points or less, it's going to send them to the Southern Conference playoffs against the Fort Lauderdale Lions, a match that we saw last year. Lions evidently won that match, and we saw them earlier on in Miami where the Lions would win that. So a match we're looking forward to. Hopefully the Palms come back healthier and with a full squad, because that would be a great match. That's going to be a great match to sit back and watch. But for the Venom, it's one more opportunity right now in the 2023 season to get on the floor and show what they got.
Absolutely.
What do they got coming up next?
We got the sprint relay, final race of the match, as you said. Now, for this race, it's a relay race in which 4 males and 4 females must finish 8 elements. Now, some quick rules. Players may substitute at any time, except after performing the final repetition of any given element. After they perform that final rep, then they must return to the start zone and complete 4-point touch before heading to the finish line and completing that element.
All right. We'll get you through the movements. They're going to be on your screen. We're going to remind you of them as we go through this. And we're starting off with those snatches. And one thing to notice, Joe, is the elements don't change for males and females. So whatever strategy you have in play, they're going to do the elements that are on your screen right now. We may see a female knock out a few 165-pound snatches here.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Teams are set. Final opportunity here. The Venom have thrown that bonus flag, so this race is worth 4 points to the victor.
Kicking things off, they've got 12 snatches in quadrant 1 at 165 pounds.
It's going to be Brett Henry, who's on the Venom side, Joe?
Yep, and Gomez for the Venom. Now, once they get through those 12 snatches at 165 pounds, if they finish the last rep of the element themselves, they'll do a 4-point touch at the start line and then sprint through the finish. But as you can see, we just lost Gomez on the screen, but now we're watching the Palms finish their last rep.
So Alyssa Martinez is going to cross the finish line for the Venom. She is done for the rest of the race, as well as Brandon Shipper, who just crossed it for the Palms. Michael Schern, Andres Montenegro on that L-sit we saw earlier in Jack and Jill. We're going to see it again. It's 2 total reps. Montenegro is going to stay on the floor. He's looking at Schern to see what he does, taking his time, making sure he doesn't waste all the energy.
And saving some of his grip. That was kind of what they were doing earlier as a team. They were rotating a lot through that Jack and Jill. So maybe that was something to try to help them later on, knowing that they had those 2 L-sits left in the sprint relay.
Schaefer through, he'll sprint down. What do we got next, Joe?
Alvarez, actually, we're watching him do these 12 triple unders, double unders. If you thought those were hard, these are next level. As you can see, they get a little bit higher on the ground. Got to move those wrists a heck of a lot faster.
Hansen gets tripped up on her and opening up a little doorway, little pathway in these suicide sprints for the Venom to sprint through with a race lead right now.
Yeah, and Briley Hansen trying to wrap up her 12 triple unders. Watching the Venom on the left side of your screen, they're finishing their suicide run. So that is back and forth. As you know, as the suicide works, they go to quadrant 1, back to start 2, start 3, start, and then sprinting through quadrant number 4. Once both teams complete that suicide sprint, they'll head over to 6 single dumbbell overhead squats at 40 pounds. Single day signing for the Venom. She's going and chipping away, making that look very easy.
Schern has a 4-point touch. They're going to have Heather Hudson sprint through the finish line. Hudson will be done as Saavedra 4-point touches. She's going to sprint through the finish line. She will be done.
So she was a little unsure about what to do there, but that's no big deal. Now watching Robbie Rodriguez, they are now doing wall balls over a 12-foot outrigger. So this is a new movement to the grid. You can essentially catch the ball on the other side if you want, but it just needs to clear that area.
I'll be honest, I was surprised to see it. We're going to see it from Henry too. I didn't see it in the previous match. And again, time saver.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to be practicing this when I get back to my gym.
Midas on the floor with the freestanding handstand push-ups for the Venom. Again, they threw the bonus flag, so they're looking to do everything they can to come out with a race win. Minute 45 on the clock. All the Palm have to do is finish the race under the time cap.
And they'll take this entire match. Yeah, if they do not, it would essentially be a tie. So right now we got Florentine on the left side of your screen. He has 3 clusters at 250 pounds. 2 down, 1 to go. Hand is in the air. Florentine went to the finish, but he forgot he needs his 4-point of contact at the start line. On the left side of your screen, we're watching him sprint through the finish. And on the right side of your screen, Marcus Washington. Venom celebrating, very happy. Hoping that in the next minute, Marcus Washington cannot finish these 2 clusters. Very strong athlete on the Palms. He's got plenty of time, so it's likely he will wrap this thing up.
Quite the way to end it for the Daytona Beach Venom. They came out hot today. It was tied at 10 apiece at one point. And the Palms just, that ending for the Palms, they took 3 straight race wins.
Yep. And they kicked it into the next gear.
Yeah, and it's going to lead to a 1-point victory as the Palms will win by a final score of Palms 17, Venom 15. Excuse me, Venom 16.